everyone and welcome to Economicspedia. I hope you are all doing good in this lockdown. So, recently, that is on 12th of May 2020, it has been announced by our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi that he will be introducing a 20 lakh crore fiscal stimulus into our economy in order to revive the Indian economy in this pandemic situation. And he also named this particular project as Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan or Self-Reliant India. Now, today I am here to talk about this Atmanirbhar Abhiyan that has been announced recently. But here I'm going to point out a few of the important things that has been omitted or overlooked in this fiscal stimulus package. So let's begin our analysis. Starting with the few packages and the schemes that have been announced by our Honorable Finance Minister, that is, there will be some loan given to MSMEs and there will be some liquidity will be given to the migrant workers. Starting with this stimulus package that has been recently given out, it will be too early to have a comment on the impact that this particular stimulus package or schemes, the policies and the reforms that have been announced by our Honorable Finance Minister. The main objective of this video is that to point out and to talk about the important sectors that have been left out or overlooked in this fiscal stimulus. Well, starting with and the most important sector of this hour of need is the health sector. Now, over a decade, it has been observed that the percentage of GDP that has been used or accounted for this health sector, public health sector, has always been 1.15% of the total GDP. So that is pretty much less. Now, due to this lesser percentage of the GDP that has been invested in this health sector, public health sector, the results can be, number one, that the low or the poor quality of the equipments and the services that has been that are given out, the poor quality. Number two is the limited reach of the public services that is going out to the people. Number three is the insufficient public provisioning of the public health care. So this lower percentage of the GDP that has been invested in this health sector is an issue to have an eye on. Now, many of you will be thinking, and as pointed out and also has been pointed out into this package of 20 lakh crore, that the health sector is doing well. Starting with, they have mentioned that before this pandemic there was not even a single production unit who will be producing this PPE kit. But now there are almost, if I can recall, approximately over 300 production centers who are producing lakhs of PPE kit daily. And of course the N95 masks are also being produced. But this production is taking place. But the question here that arises is that, is this PPE kit or the N95 masks are available to each and every person of this country? This is a big question and we are looking for the answer. And also, if I remind you that it is possible in this current pandemic scenario that many of the other issues are related to the public health care, like the normal health checkup of a mother who is expecting, or the old age people, they are missing out their regular checkups. So this diversion of the resources from this important sectors to cure the COVID patient is also putting a higher opportunity cost into our society. So interestingly, this pandemic has exposed the hard truth in front of us, that is the most of the private health sectors are seems to have incapable or unwilling to help in this period of crisis. Now the reason can be that there is a reduction in their revenue, and due to reduction in their revenue, so they end up closing their hospitals or checkup centers. Now let me give you some of the statistics. In India, the private sector provides 93% of the hospitals, 64% of hospital beds, and 80 to 85% of doctors. So you can just do the math and see that what is the percentage ratio we are looking at. And this is a real concern. So, not addressing the public healthcare system in this detail can thwart all efforts at reviving the Indian economy. So, announcing a new health investment plan is the need of the hour. And number two is that at least 1% of this GDP of this fiscal stimulus that has been recently announced, it has to be earmarked towards improving the public healthcare infrastructure, because that is going to provide the requirement and that is going to fulfill the requirement and the necessities of the people. And also pointed out by Professor A.K. Shivakumar, is a developmental economist. He has also mentioned that up to 70% of the fiscal stimulus needs to be focused and redirected towards the primary healthcare, because that is the base of our public healthcare infrastructure. So that needs to be very much strengthened up. So in this way, if these particular things have been taken up, then the states will be better equipped to fight and to win against this pandemic. Now, coming to the other aspects and the other schemes and reforms that has recently been announced under Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan. You can get the whole details below in the description box. You can have a look at it. Now, let me point out the important aspect of the whole package. So, starting with the MSMEs, that is the micro, small, medium enterprises. Now, in this stimulus package, 3 lakh crore has been assigned to this MSMEs in order so that these can perform in a better way, and remarkably that has been given without any collateral. So non-collateral loan has been given out to MSMEs. Now this is a very good step that has been taken up, provided that how this scheme is going to show its effect. And also along with this, many companies, other companies and entrepreneurs have been given out loans. So this seemed to have a positive impact that and it will revive the Indian economy for now. But we need to remember that this money are given out in the form of loans. Loans, that means at a point of time you need to repay it. So once you need to repay it, it creates a burden, not on your current consumption, but in the future consumption that will create a burden on you. So this is the first point of this stimulus package I wanted to share with you. So the second one that I'm going to talk about is related to the migrant workers. So in this migrant workers, I'm mainly going to talk about the two policies that has been taken up. Number one nation, one ration card. It's a great policy, and it is going and it is expected that it will also have a great turnover. And number two that I'm going to talk about is the policy of giving free food up to 5 kgs to a family member, to one particular individual. So these two schemes related to the migrant workers are really good. And again, one more important thing related to this migrant worker is the increment in their wage, daily wage. Previously it was 182 rupees. Now it has been increased to 202 rupees. They have mentioned in their policy. So these all policies and reforms and schemes, these are good. These are indeed good. But the question still remains that exactly in what way we are going to benefit is somewhat we need to wait for. And how these schemes are going to come out, we need to see that as well. Okay, so that is related to the migrant workers. Now, the third point that I really want to talk about is that I really want to mention is related to the privatization of few of the important sectors. That includes the coal sector, that includes the ordnance factory, that is the production house of the defense, that includes the space, and that also includes the atomic research centers. And also to put 6 more airports to sale is something that grabs our attention too. But again, as I said in the starting, that it is an early stage to have any comment on any of this impact of the policies. So we need to wait and stay tuned into our channel, because everything important will be covered by us. After hearing on 12th of May that's 20 lakh crore stimulus package, it ring a bell into many of our minds. There will be a direct cash transfer to the lower strata of the economy. That means the unorganized sector or the migrant workers or daily wage workers. But nothing happened on that front. Many of the economists, including the Nobel laureate Abhijit Binayak Banerjee, recently in one of his interviews has said that direct cash transfers is the only way out to revive the demand of the Indian economy. You can find the link below in the given description box. Also, you can click on the card that you can see right on this side. So these are the things that has been missed out. I'm sure that we are going to revive from this pandemic very soon. Until then, stay safe and stay home and stay tuned to Economicspedia, because everything important is going to get covered by us. And if you want to know more about Economicspedia, you can always reach us by mailing us at our official account, that is ecopedia08@gmail.com. See you in the next one. Thank you for watching this.